We're here with head coach Dan Whittington of men's and women's cross country and track and field. If you could just recap for us how you felt about the races during this season and maybe some of the challenges from injury or what have you, but how you feel about the team's finishes overall this year.
Yeah, we dealt with a lot of injuries this year on both the men's and women's side. For whatever reason, I think just adjusting to a new program, my style of coaching, and the increase in mileage, I would say that our goal was always the end of the season at GSAC and putting our best team out there. That was our main goal the entire season. So some of the races, some athletes sat out because we wanted them ready for GSAC. And so I think going into it, we were ranked on the men's side 7th and the women were ranked 9th. And so our goal was to finish at least there or better. And so I was pretty happy with the men stepping up and grabbing an extra spot. They finished 6th, and then the women finished 7th. So, you know, I think for my first year with a new team, I thought that was a pretty solid performance with the injuries we faced and the low numbers that we had this year. So.
Coach, as you mentioned, it was your first season coaching cross country. It's now going to be rolling into your second season with the program overall, as you took over in the midterm last year between the cross country and track seasons. You brought 5 new athletes to the teams this year, even plagued as you were with injuries. You put a couple new faces on the course. So far, how do you feel about the incoming athletes' performance, and how do you feel that carries forward into another recruiting season and the upcoming track season?
Yeah, you know, I was pretty happy with the new runners that we brought in and the way they ran. I think a lot of them ran really fast early on. Some of them dealt with some injuries towards the end of the season, but you know, definite bright spots with the new people that we brought in. I was really happy with what they brought to the team, not only on the course, but through leadership and just motivating their teammates, being a great fit for this school. So looking forward for track, I think it gives us a good foundation to build upon for this track season. And I think that some of the bright spots we had will help kind of continue it through the off season and into track. So I'm looking forward to it.
Between the new faces that you brought in and some of your style of coaching with some of the returning athletes, your team was able to put together 13 new personal bests. 8 of your 10 runners set a new personal best this season at least one time. What do you think, besides the new faces and the motivation what you just talked about, what do you think inspired that most, those changes there?
You know, I think maybe the off-season training. We really tried to buckle down this summer and put in more mileage than they've ever put in before. Some of them kind of broke down a little bit, and that's something to learn about those athletes, to you know, trying to figure out how much they can handle the workload. But you know, I think that with that, just this off season, I think focusing on just working harder and building as a team, trying to pack up our runners. This off season, I know on the girls' side, they're all very close together, and so we're trying to kind of build upon that, working, encouraging each other day in and day out as they run together. And same thing with the guys. They're a little bit more spread out, so we kind of have small little packs, pairs that we can kind of train together.
Coach, you do lose a pair of seniors from this year's cross-country season. Rhonda Ackley finishes on a high note with her personal best there in the GSAC championship. And Brian Tressler, who owns currently 19 of the career best race times, also running his last cross season. Brian has plans, I believe, to carry on into the track season. Rhonda is going to be done. What does it mean to have been able to coach those 2 athletes in your short time here so far?
Yeah, you know, Rhonda's a special student athlete. She's been on the team for 4 years, and so having that, having someone that has been around the program for that long, bringing them through, and kind of transitioning to having me as the new coach, it was nice to have someone that is, you know, knows the traditions of the team, and so her leadership was, you know, it's going to be hard to replace, and her spiritual leadership, and then her example that she sets in the classroom. She's a All-American, academic All-American, and GSAC academic first team, and so that's really going to be tough to lose. With Brian, like you said, he holds pretty much every single record at this school in regards to cross country and track, and his leadership as well, and just leading by example, and his vocal leadership is going to be huge to lose. But we're still looking forward to having him around this spring in track, and seeing what he can do. Hopefully run some personal bests, and hopefully break some more school records.
He did break the school best mark for the men's side this season in his first race out on the course. Coach, if you could maybe just look forward to next season, what are your plans for the offseason in terms of recruiting, and how do you expect to put a new team on the course this year with a few athletes graduating, obviously, and then having another year of recruiting underneath your belt there?
Yeah, I think we had low numbers this year, barely putting out 5 guys and barely putting out 5 women. And so my assistant coach and I, we've really been spending a lot of time recruiting both high school seniors and JC runners. And so we hope to bring in enough to where we never have to skimp by with barely putting 5, even 7 on the line at GSAC. We want to be able to fill an entire team and some. And so that's our main focus, is bringing in new athletes, fresh blood, and hopefully motivating the kids, the returners, having people to run with, and hopefully that encourages everybody to step up their game. One of the biggest things that we need is more competition within the team, pushing each other, fighting for those top 5, top 7 spots. And I think if we bring in the athletes that we're focused on recruiting, then we're going to make a huge impact on the GSAC for next year. So.
Well, Coach, thank you for spending some time with us talking about this season and looking forward to next. We appreciate your time. Best of luck with the upcoming track season.
Thank you.